Hi, I'm Alexis Sanders from Casper College, and my speech is on bridging the gap between rural and urban people. 2%, that's all. 2% of the U.S. population is involved in agriculture. According to the Census Bureau of 2014, there were 318.9 million people in the U.S. That means only 6,378,000 of those people are involved directly with ag. Sure, that may seem like a lot of people, which it is, but in the big scheme of things, that's the same size as the state of Tennessee. That same population provides food, shelter, and clothes on a global level. Admittedly, there are other countries who are agriculturally driven, but the U.S. leads in exports by $39.3 billion. That's according to Investopedia in 2017. Now, these numbers are big, so to scale it down for a better perspective, I come from a county of 45,000 people, and with that 2% in mind, that makes it 920 people involved in ag. That's smaller than the high school I graduated from. With so few people involved in agriculture, it's understandable that there's a gap of knowledge between producers and consumers. This in mind, there is a problem of understanding agriculture, and both sides need to step forward to better understand each other more. The first step to overcoming an issue is to recognizing there is a problem. On the consumer side of things, there's a lack of understanding of what happens in farming and ranching in order to produce their food. Only 72% of consumers know nothing or very little about farming or ranching. That's according to Food Dialogues of 2011. 3/4 of the population doesn't know where their food comes from or how it's made. And on the producer side, there is a reluctance among some people who should be more open about what we do. But it's understandable that they might hold back, because every time they go out and say something, there are activist groups that are there to tear them down. There are several activist groups within the ag community, and that is according to Ag United. Furthermore, to overcome an issue, there should be recognition of the causes. In urban areas, there are people, if you ask people where their food comes from, they'll say the store. Sure, that's understandable because, they don't see the real truth. How many farms do you see in New York City or Seattle? But this is because they don't have the exposure to farms in order to see the truth. But when they're buying their food, 69% of consumers think about food production, at least somewhat often. 70% say purchase decisions are affected by how food is grown and raised. 3/4 of the population saying they think about this topic while purchasing groceries. This is all according to Food Dialogues. With that many people thinking about it, it is very excruciating. It is very important for people to be open and be willing to show people what is done behind closed doors. Whether producers are farmers or ranchers, there is some form of activist group pressuring them on what to do. But what these people don't understand is that hoops that farmers and ranchers will jump through just to produce the safest food to put on your table. FDA inspects food facilities routinely, often in partnership with state regulatory agencies. The frequency is based on the type of facility, the type of food being processed or handled at the facility, and the public risk associated with the product. If a facility is found to need some corrective actions, Follow-up inspections are conducted to review the implementations of the corrections. That's according to the FDA in January of 2017. Now, in a meat processing plant, there are inspection points from beginning to end, from the treatment of the animal as it steps off the truck to the amount of time spent in a cold storage to the trucks that it's placed on to get to your local grocery store. So, what are the solutions? What can we do? What can we do to help close this gap and better understand each side? Well, for the consumers and urbanites, visit ranches, farms, or processing plants. Ask questions, because the main goal of the ag industry is to be as transparent as possible. There are numerous ways to visit farms. This is according to localharvest.org. On the other end, producers need to be more willing to answer questions. So, the everyday consumer or any pedestrian on the street can say, "What is it that you do?" And they can, quite honestly, answer it and say it. And the main goal that most industries are working on is some sort of education system to inform the producers on the correct way to answer these questions. But collectively, we need to communicate. Both sides need to talk more and discuss the issues and concerns that they have, so we can continue to make progress. Communication skills are critical to all aspects of business development. This was said on agmrc.org in 2017. In conclusion, there is a separation between the producer and consumer that needs to be closed up. So there are so many steps from pasture to plate or field to plate. And for only 6.3 million people being involved in ag, that leaves 315.5 million people who aren't. With that many people, there's bound to be misconceptions. But with efforts from both sides, we will be leaps and bounds ahead of where we are now. Whether you are involved in ag or not, ask questions. Be willing to answer questions as they arise, so there is no skepticism on either end. Thank you.